Hey guys, this is Christian Night Podcast starring Cristian Inferno and Sonic Knight, and today we're going to be talking about creepypastas, specifically our favorite creepypastas, and then we'll be going into some creepypastas that are popular or we just think about and want to talk about. But without further ado, E, what is your favorite creepypasta, bro?
Guys, my favorite creepypasta is probably this one called Strangers, which is about a guy who takes the subway to like a different world, and like he sees these creatures. He's like, oh, these people are like hideous, and he ends up being stuck on that train or whatever for like years, and his like goal is to get off the train to his just home or wherever he was going. And he becomes one of the creatures on the train because he's been there for so long. That's just what happens. And then he just he kind of talks about his plan of like making it so that no one else ever gets on the train ever again. It was really good. Don't remember who made it, but yeah.
Is that the whole gist of the story?
There's more to it, but that's the summary of it.
Yeah, go into more in depth of it because I've never heard of it. So
yeah, it's it's called Strangers because he sees this like businessman on the train, and he's like I don't know, he was like really overly happy or something like that, and he said like that pissed him off because every time he would get on the train he was extremely happy and his life was like horrible or something. So he said like that pissed him off, and he ends up following this guy. Like, what the fuck like he said, like, what the fuck does this guy do that he's so happy and I'm not? Like, I have to see what this guy does. So he follows him, and this guy gets on a train. He gets on that train that continues forever. He gets on that train, and he completely screws this guy's life over because he got on that train that never ends. So he goes up to the guy and he's like, wow, you ruined everything. Now I'm stuck here. And the guy was like, still just smiling. And he was just like, what are you smiling for? And the guy's just like, oh, well, you decided to follow me. It wasn't my fault. And he was just so mad. And like, that was pretty much it. And towards the end, he's like, I'm gonna make sure, leave notes and stuff to make sure no one ever gets on this train ever again, to end the, getting on the train and turning into one of those creatures. So
does he ever say why he actually was smiling?
No, he doesn't. All you know about that guy is that he frequents that train and he can get off of it like whenever he wants. For some reason he's special, and like he can get off the train. He looks like a normal human being. He's not a monster. So he's a stranger. I guess that's just why it's called Strangers, because you don't know about that guy. So
yeah, it sounds like he is probably an otherworldly being and just kind of
oh yeah, for sure,
and attracts people that are unhappy with shit, and then it's like,
yeah, I think that's the point of him.
And follow me, and then when they get pissed, he's like, "Oh, it's kind of your fault."
Yeah, I mean it is, but still.
It's a pretty interesting story.
Yeah, it was really good. I would suggest reading it sometime or watching it.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if they already have this or not, but did they have like a creepypasta animated series or something like that?
No, they don't. I wish they did, but no, they don't.
I feel like that would be awesome, because all those stories, you can make them into like each story is an episode, and you basically just like, reenact the story. That'd be hella dope. I'd watch that.
I don't think it would need a huge budget or anything either, honestly.
No, if it was animated too. Like, you can make it animated, you can make some of them animated, some of them live action, like...
Yeah.
It could be like, modern day Goosebumps, except some of those stories are actually not just for kids, and
Yeah.
I feel like it would reach a very broad audience. Because I know there's a couple of creepypasta channels on YouTube, you know. I think one of them is Mr. Creepypasta. And,
Yeah.
you know, all they do is read the stories. And they have millions of subscribers.
They would probably
Yeah.
love it. I mean, who hasn't heard of a creepypasta? Like, I feel like just by concept it would do well.
Yeah, even in the news, like, I know weren't gonna talk about this, but like literally Slenderman has made the news multiple times. You know, national television.
Yeah,
You know?
so everyone knows what a creepypasta is, pretty much. I don't know why it doesn't get adapted that often.
Yeah, I don't know either. I think that if any TV executives or YouTubers that are, you know, big in animation, or literally anybody that can make this TV pitch happen, we're pitching a creepypasta show right now.
It could be either, it could be either animated or live action. I really wouldn't care.
Christian Knight Productions, copyright right now.
Yes.
This is our idea.
It's ours.
Don't steal this shit. Yeah. My favorite creepypasta is probably one called The Road. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Is that the one where you travel on the road and it gets really cold and your radio flips out, like all that stuff?
Yeah, that's probably my favorite one. I've read
like
that one about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, and it was, I think it was like, if you get to the end, you can get anything you want, like, without a catch.
Yeah, but pretty much it's like, if you really want something, like you truly want it, this road will appear, and then you have to take the road, and then you just keep driving and driving, and you have to keep your eyes focused on the road, and then you go through like stages. Like one of them is you'll start to hear voices, and you gotta not pay attention to them. Then you start
that's
seeing figures,
creepy.
you can't pay attention to them. Then you'll suddenly be in your car, and then your car will stall.
Yeah, that's creepy.
It's basically like saying, yeah, you're not gonna make it down this road no matter what.
Yeah, because it's like, the problem with that is, what do you want that badly that you're gonna put yourself through that?
Yeah, I guess that it says, if you want something that bad, then you...
Yeah, if you do, if you actually do want something that bad, you can.
Right there.
Yeah,
so it's a good concept.
Yeah, I mean,
that is
you earned
definitely
it.
my favorite creepypasta. But
yeah, that's a cool
I've
creepypasta.
read some pretty creepy ones and seen videos. There's this one about, I would say it's probably tied my favorite, but about this guy who worked at a gas station, and I think he worked like the night shift, and he would, you know, everything be normal, and eventually, like, some nights there'd be like gas cans missing and stuff like that.
Oh, I think I saw that.
And then,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it turned out like the guy stopped him for work, and everyone was wondering where he was, and long story short, the guy like texted him or called him and then tried to like contact him from his address, and the house like didn't exist. Like it existed at one point, and then it like didn't exist anymore, and his phone number didn't exist. And then all of a sudden he looked back at the tapes, and he was just standing like behind the counter.
Oh,
and then all of a sudden he was like,
I remember this. I heard of that. That was really good. That was like, it was a really like not predictable story. Like that was like
and
pretty neat.
It wasn't overly like weird or anything. It was just kind of like, wow, this is really well written.
Yeah,
and that's the thing, is these are just well written stories. Like a lot of them. Now there's some that are really bad, but you know, even the bad ones, like
there's a lot of really bad ones, but
a lot of them have redeeming quality. So I have to say.
Yeah, some do. Cause some of them, some writers, they have good ideas. They just don't know how to flesh it out, and then they make a horrible creepypasta. But they do have good ideas.
And there's one other that I really like, and for a while I kept hearing stories about like false walls in people's houses, and you know, like people living in people's houses, and I saw like a bunch of Reddit, you know, it was on Reddit all the time, so I would see posts about like, you know, we found out someone was living in the crawl space and shit like that, and there was like a secret,
that shit's creepy.
secret stairway, stuff like that, and there was this one where they kind of like found the secret little crawl space and stuff like that, and I thought it was real, so I was reading along, you know, and then it was like really well written, and eventually it just got so far-fetched and started being like hella fake, and I was like,
Yeah.
wow, I seriously believe this for like.
That's how Reddit
It was a long
is,
story.
dude.
It took me about 45 minutes to read the whole thing. The first like 20 minutes of reading.
Wow.
I was like, wow, this is seriously intense, and this is crazy that someone went through this. And it was like kind of like doing it in journal entries, and being like, yeah, Dave, like this week we finally got the door unlocked. There was blood all in the room or something like that, and then eventually it started getting weirder and weirder, and I was like, okay. And then eventually it just got to the point I was like, there was like one thing that's kind of like the breaking point where I was like, I don't even remember the exact, you know, story, but it was just something I was like, wow, okay, yeah, so this is fake. Wow. How you gonna do me like that? Like, I was so excited. I was like, wow, this is real and this is crazy.
Because some of them are so realistic. Like,
I know, it was so realistic and so well written. So, my bad. Well written. But, yeah, I'm so mad about it, I can't even speak.
I'd be mad too. That happens on Reddit a lot, though. You're like, oh shit, did this actually happen? And then you read it, you're like, this shit didn't happen.
Yeah, it's just like, it was so good for the first, you know, half of the story. And then eventually it's like, wow, yeah, this isn't even real. And then I ended up still finishing it just because I, didn't want to give up on it. I already read so much of it. I was like, I'll still read the rest of it. And it was a good story. But if it was real,
I mean, you might as well finish it, I guess.
it would have made it like 100 times better. 1,000,000 times better.
Yeah. Because I'm guessing you're not one of those people that's like, if it's not real, it takes away from it. I'm like that too. Like, if it's not real, it does take away a lot from it for me. If you're trying to make something realistic, like, so if I know it's not real from the very start, I'm gonna be like, kind of discouraged a little, if it's one of those more realistic ones.
Yeah, no, if it's realistic and then you keep it realistic the entire, it doesn't matter to me if it's real. You can leave that up to me to just decipher whether I believe it's real or not.
Fine.
I like that, but if you make it realistic for the whole thing, and then at the end it's just like, and then
yeah, that's kind of bullshit.
A one-eyed, one-horned, blind purple people eater came out of the woods and everything changed. So like, wow, so you're really gonna write such a good story?
Yeah.
They're gonna throw that
and
in
then ruin it,
and then make it like, wow, like, come on, like, you did such a
nice
good job
ruining
why are you gonna ruin it? But yeah, those three are kind of my favorite ones, even though I only know the name of one of them. But I haven't read any creepypastas in a while. For a while, I would, just chill on my laptop and listen to them and watch them. But the problem is, I would always watch them when it's dark out and it's like nighttime. And then I'm not even gonna lie, like sometimes some of them are pretty creepy.
Oh so yeah, they get very creepy.
I'd be like, wow, why am I doing this to myself? Yeah.
Those ones where it's like, oh, I found a section of my house where someone's been living in it. Those creep me the fuck out. I don't like those.
I know. I like those because they are so unnerving. Yeah.
Like, they're so like, they're so possibly relatable that it's creepy. Like, it's disturbing.
I know. That's what I think I like about them so much, because like, wow, this is so weird and creepy. And like, my uncle in his house, he has a bookshelf that opens up to a room, So like there are
Yeah.
houses that have like
Yeah, it's not
secret
like
stuff
it's
in them.
like a magical like creepypasta thing. Like there is spaces like that in people's houses. So
Yeah,
and
I
there's
never put
been
my
real
ear up to
stories
like
like
the
that.
wall at my house that's upstairs where the crawfish is, because like I know nothing's in there, but like just the thought of something, you knock on the wall and hear knock back, it's like, yo, I'm not even gonna do it to myself. Yeah,
I I would fucking kill myself if I heard that. Hear a
yeah, I'd be
knockback,
like,
like fuck that.
yeah, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not staying here anymore.
Yeah, I'm moving immediately. Well, I might get someone to, like the cops or someone to check out my house first.
Yeah, no, I would definitely go in there, but I would grab a couple things first, and then I'd grab a couple. I tell a couple people, I'm like, yeah, do you guys want to come into the crawl space, just so I don't have to, just so I don't not make it out of there, yeah.
There's been real stories that were like dead bodies that were in someone's house for like a year and they didn't notice or something. It's like, how does that happen? What I mean, first
Yeah,
off, that's
I feel like
creepy,
you would
but
smell it.
exactly. Well, the story I remember was like, it was this really old lady, and she was like, "Oh, something smells bad," and then they found the dead body, and then they figured out like this body's been here for like 2 years, and it's like, so how did you just smell it now, but you didn't smell it anywhere between 2 years ago and recently? Like, what?
Yeah, I know, that type of stuff is hella creepy, just the fact that I just seen something not that long ago where people were literally like living in a house and they would straight up, you have to be so smart to be able to do that, like you make sure that you are, walking out when they're, walking in and whatnot, and like making
Yeah.
sure that you're not seen, and making sure that they're asleep and won't come to the fridge, like, you're walking and trying to eat stuff out of the fridge and then they're waking up midnight snack and they walk past and they're like, oh hey, and they're like,
Yeah.
wait, what? And then you disappear real quick. You're like, that was a close one.
Yeah, you have to be like really sneaky to do that.
Yeah, it sounds almost impossible, honestly.
It really does. Especially for me, no one could ever live in my house because I'm up all night, like I'm fucking nocturnal. So I would definitely notice something.
Yeah, maybe you haven't noticed. Maybe it's happening right now. You just don't even know it.
Oh, I sure hope not. Because if it is, then they have to be the stealthiest person alive.
Maybe you're just it's like one of those things. Maybe now that I'm bringing attention to it, you're gonna find out that that's actually what's happening.
Fuck that. Fuck off. Don't want to know about that. I don't even want to know if it is happening.
Yeah,
Right.
well, hey,
You know what?
Maybe tomorrow night you should search around. Yeah.
I don't know.
Survey the whole house. Go in every single room. Knock on all the walls. Yeah.
Oh god. Then I'm gonna hear like a pebble drop, and then I'm gonna flip the fuck out.
Yeah, well, that's part of the adventure, isn't it?
Alright, so least favorite creepypasta. Do you have any in particular?
That I can think of off the top of my head. Not really. I would probably say Jeff the Killer, just because
Yeah.
I feel like that story's hella dumb.
That story's
And I
so
remember-
shitty.
Yeah, back in the day, long time ago, playing Little Big Planet, and they had hell levels about that.
Oh
thing,
yeah,
and I was like,
they had
wow.
so many
is
Jeff the
horrible.
Killer levels. I was like, why? I don't know why people love Jeff the Killer so much. Like it's not a good story. It's really not.
Well, it's not a horrible story, like it's not horrible.
It's not
or
good.
anything. Yeah, but here's the thing: is that's a creepypasta for like kids,
Yeah, that's honestly what it seems like. I mean, it's like
But you
a
know,
creepypasta to start people on creepypastas. I don't know.
yeah, and I mean, you need stories like that for real. Whenever you're getting in, you need stuff that is like something like that. Any creepypasta about like videotapes, like stuff like The Ring, like stuff like that. I hate that stuff.
Yeah, I don't like those
The
either.
chain letter stuff, like I hate that stuff. I always hated chain letters and people still did that. I don't think people do that anymore for real.
Uh, yeah. Do people still do that? I don't know. I guess not.
Well, now we have, you know, smartphones and stuff like that. But I remember back, you know, having a flip phone and people would do that chain letter stuff and I'd be like,
Yeah.
don't even, I would tell everybody. Anytime someone got, you know, see them the next day, I'd be like, you ever send me another one of those, I'll beat the shit out of you.
I just
Like,
thought it was
stop with that
stupid.
shit. Yeah, I always hated it because, like, I don't like stuff like that. I don't like stuff that's threatening me, you know?
Yeah, I was more annoyed by it than anything. I was like, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably say
I
Jeff
feel
the
like
Killer.
fundamentally, movies like The Ring and stuff like that, like, I hate the idea of that.
Yeah, they're conceptually scary, like. Cause it's
Yeah, and that's
stuff
kinda
that's
like a
relatable.
creepypasta. Yeah.
The subtly relatable stuff is like creepy. Cause everyone, well, maybe not nowadays, but back in the day, everyone had a VCR. Like, everyone had that, so that's like relatable.
Yeah, I have VHS. I still have VHS tapes, yeah.
Yeah, I think I do too, somewhere.
And I still have a VCR, and I still, like, I watched Pokemon, the first movie on it, not that long ago. I mean, it was actually probably a while ago, but in the grand scheme of things, I watched Pokemon not that long ago, and I had, like, season 2
Really?
of Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
I had the one where, like, where it was, like, the first Shadow Realm battle. And I
Was the
watched that,
quality
like,
horrible?
No, it really was. Not really, for real. I enjoyed it. It's nostalgia, you know, and like
Yeah.
VHS wasn't horrible.
Yeah, it wasn't horrible. There was you know, some people try to not people, some movies and stuff try to have that like relatable thing, like they make it about like your phone or something to make it like relatable and creepy, but they just fail. Like there's movies like fucking, it was called like Unfriended or Defriended or something.
Yeah, I heard about it, but I
Stupid
never
movie.
watched it.
Yeah, it was someone who got like unfriended on Facebook and then like haunted their computer. It was so stupid. It was like, I know you're trying to be like relatable, but like it's not working.
Yeah, and by the way, just to throw this out there, nobody did the whole computer, you know, computer virus and stuff like that, making it, you know, a horror theme thing better than Scooby-Doo when they played in that video game about Mystery Inc.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
No one
about
ever
that.
did it better than that. No one.
Is Scooby-Doo like a horror show? Because it's not scary, really.
I would say
It's actually
it is.
funny.
I think that that's the thing about, you know, watching all these shows and then growing up and, you know, all these shows that were on when we were kids. It's like, I wish they made adult versions of them that were seriously,
Yeah, I would love that.
where they didn't cut back and they made it like seriously what the potential could be.
What they
Like,
wanted,
I want
basically.
them to make it as scary as it was when I was a kid, like Courage the Cowardly Dog. Like,
Oh,
if they made
man.
that and updated that for it to be the audience that actually would watch it, which would be our age group, you know,
That'd
and they
be
made
awesome.
it catered to us, like, that'd be so scary, and you could do so much stuff with that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Like the show basically grows up with you.
Yeah, and you could do some Scooby-Doo. Like, you could have, they already did, you know, a bunch of different Scooby-Doos, and Scooby-Doo's hella old, so why can't you make an updated one for adults, and then you can keep the one for kids, but make one for
Yeah,
adults
just have
too,
both.
you know?
Scooby-Doo had
And then Throw it
thought
on a
it
different
had some
channel or something.
creepy-ish. Yeah, you throw it on Toonami came back, you could put on that. And Toonami's
Yeah,
like,
and if you watch like Zombie Island, that's probably the best Scooby-Doo animated movie, and that was genuinely creepy, you know?
yeah, I thought the Chupacabra
Like, they had-
one was creepy. Like, I actually thought that movie was pretty creepy.
Yeah, I mean, like Zombie Island, there were actual zombies, and they were actually in danger, and they kind of realized that they were actually in danger. And that was kind of like one where you're like, wow, this is actually, it's not the person running around in a costume
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
know they're gonna get caught. Yeah, I feel like Scooby-Doo is a great idea. There's a
Yeah,
reason that everybody loves Scooby-Doo. I've
I
never
feel
met
like-
anyone that said, I hate Scooby-Doo.
me, I've never met anyone who actually, like, actively disliked Scooby-Doo. I feel like Scooby-Doo's trying to, like, say something how every monster is a person. Like, I feel like they're trying to say something with that, but I don't really know.
Yeah, but here's the thing,
Quite
is
what
not
they
every
would-
monster is a person. Like, I just gave an example. Zombie Island, you know.
Yeah.
It's
I feel like
actually
that's a rare
supernatural.
occurrence.
And
That's a
that's
rare
something
occurrence in
that-
that show, though.
I think they did that stylistically, and like they did that purposely to make something that is like that and make it not
Yeah.
supernatural. Like,
And
they
maybe-
did that on purpose.
Maybe I mean, it could be completely like just for entertainment, but it also could be like monsters are not always just people. Like sometimes it's something else. I don't know. Or
Yeah,
you
I
could
mean,
go the other way
I
around.
know they did it like that for a purpose, because I know there was somebody who was like worked with the show, was like a scientist said like, I like how they make it to where there's nothing really supernatural about it. And I disagree
Yeah.
with that, because I think it would have done well. I would have liked to see
Yeah.
some more supernatural episodes, but it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like it if it was
It's a great
actual
series.
monsters. Of course, you can have some of them that are like people because it's funny a lot of the time.
Yeah, well, look, do you not remember the second live action movie? You know, there were actual monsters in that one.
Oh yeah. Well, there was monsters in both of them, wasn't there? Actually, I don't know. I don't really remember the second one. I don't think. I remember
there
the
was
first one.
monsters in the first one because of the people, the creatures on the islands, you know.
Yeah.
Damon Ritis, that was a great movie.
Yeah, I like the first one. That's one
Yeah,
of the
and
few
I'm tired
live
of,
action.
Cartoon Network movies.
Why
I
won't
like.
Shaggy just smoke dope already?
I don't
Why won't
know.
he just smoke the doge already? Like, we all know. Please just throw it on the screen.
Oh
Yeah, I'm
yeah, I was
tired
about to say like he does smoke the dope already. He just isn't showing it.
Yeah, they said that, you know, his girl in that first live action movie, what's your name? Mary Jane. He's like, oh, that's my favorite name. Yeah, it is.
Did we talk about Slender Man already? I don't think we did.
well, kind of. We talked about how it was always in the news and
Oh
whatnot.
yeah. I was just gonna say I did enjoy Slender Man.
Yeah,
I
Slender
did.
Man is dope. I was genuinely afraid of it when it first
I
came out,
was.
honestly.
Oh yeah, I was really scared. I was like, bro, I saw Slender Man yesterday.
I know, man, because me and you, I kept messing with you every single time. I'll be like,
Yeah.
yeah, do you think that's Slender Man?
Yeah, you were fucking with me. Then there's like, then I had some people who were on my side, like, yeah, man, I believe you. And then, then I had more people fucking with me. It was, Slender Man was causing chaos in my social life. All right.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, when I was messing with you, I was kind of thinking about it too. I was like, damn it, I know it's not real, but like, fuck, what if it is? Because here's
Yeah.
the thing is, you can make jokes about something and, like, this world's weird, and we don't really know what goes on, and I'm sure there are a lot of things that go bump in the night. I'm 100% positive of it.
Oh,
so
I am too.
who
Like,
knows what is going on. And I mean, a lot of the stuff is like how you have the whole website that was about like the creatures that are in security, and you know they have them like locked down and cataloged.
Oh,
what are
yeah.
those called?
SCPs.
Yeah.
I thought those were
I
so
think that
cool.
was kind of interesting. Yeah.
Like,
Some
I
of them
always thought
kinda
those
like,
were cool.
Wow. But I watched the whole like little brief history thing of it, and it kind of was pretty interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I know SCP Foundation is made up, but like, I do believe they have a place like that for cryptids that they don't understand.
Yeah, and I mean, I used to be all into like cryptozoology, and that's kind of what I wanted to pursue, is like search for stuff that people don't give a chance. And I was like a member of a bunch of different websites, like cryptozoology.com. I was a member of a bunch of stuff. I was so into it when the Secret
That's
Saturdays
interesting.
became a show. I was so excited. And then they made that thing where it was like Argos was, you know, had his own little website and whatnot, and I was like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah, I'm
I wish
super
that was
interested in
still a
cryptids.
show. I know,
I
it's-
forgot about that
because
shit.
I know that they have this guy that is on Animal Planet. That's a new show where he goes out and actively tries to like discover what species are not extinct or what species are actually real. And like I think
Yeah.
he's already discovered a couple species that were thought to be extinct and aren't. And they do that pretty frequently. That there's species that were like, yeah, that don't even, like there's stuff that people are like, that don't even exist. Like the okapi, people are like, there's no way that exists. There's
Yeah.
no way. And then they're like, wait, so this actually is real? Like there's so
Yeah,
many different
dude, like,
things
there's a
that-
lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, at some point, like, someone's like, yeah, this is actually a thing, and then people are like, no, 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 no. And then eventually we come to find out it's like, yeah. I think that the bunyip, like, that's an Australian thing. I think that that's probably real.
What is
Because
that?
think about how much of, it's like a mix and match of a bunch of different animals. I would have
okay.
to look it up to be more specific of what it actually is, but like Australia is a pretty damn big continent.
Oh yeah, I feel
And-
like there's a lot of a lot of undiscovered stuff in Australia, because Australia
Yeah,
has
there's
so
a
many
lot of
fucking
uncharted
creatures.
because there is, you know, there's rainforest there, and not all of the rainforest there have been surveyed. There's a lot of dead space that. Here's the thing is with Google Earth and stuff like that, how much can we really get off Google Earth, you know?
Oh yeah, there's only so much you can get off Google Earth. Gotta go there.
And, you know, with their whole satellite, like they hide stuff, you know? Like there's
Yeah, they
parts
do,
that you
they do.
go, and they straight up just block off and have the map black right there.
Yeah, they'll also
For,
blur
like,
stuff
miles
out.
and miles and miles. Yeah, so there could be a bunch of stuff they even get on camera on the satellite, and they're like, well, people shouldn't probably see this. So they, you know, they'll be like, hey, well, we're just gonna blur this out. We're just gonna turn this black. They'll just
Yeah.
have to make
Yeah.
conspiracies about what's underneath it.
And there's no other reason. And people are like, oh, Google Earth has glitches. Yes, everyone knows Google Earth has glitches. But when it's purposely one area, it just coincidentally blurred out, like, very neatly, then no, that's not a glitch. Like,
Yeah, their glitches are them doing stuff purposely. So.
you know what
I
cryptid
don't know
I
if
always
that's
thought
really
was
a glitch.
interesting? You know the jackalope?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that thing is real. There's been countless sightings of it, and I don't think it's that far-fetched of a creature. Like, it's it's basically just a jackrabbit and an antelope. Like, I don't think that's that far-fetched of a creature, but apparently we
Yeah,
can't find
and
it. Apparently we can't find that
There
damn thing.
are there's diseases that animals can get that have, you know, bumps come out of them that look like antlers, and really I don't see why an animal like that couldn't have a genetic mutation where they eventually grow antlers, or they have antlers for some reason. Yeah. And like something that I always thought was interesting is alien cats or ABCs, because I feel like it's not far-fetched anyway for like England to have big cats somewhere, or France to have big cats, especially because someone could literally have a cat, you know, that they raise and then just let off into the countryside, and then there's, you know, sheep and goats and other animals that they could eat, you know, and survive probably without trying too hard.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there's like, you know, the problem is like the cool cryptids are usually big, and like small stuff kind of doesn't get respect. But
yeah, it doesn't really get.
I'm sure there's a lot of things that are, they discover new like at least 100 new species every single year. So
yeah,
like some of the stuff. One thing I really hope we find out isn't extinct is the Tasmanian tiger, because I would love for that for us to not kill that
that'd be
off.
Cool. Yeah, I heard
I mean,
like there's a couple.
That is a cryptid, because I mean there's people that really try hard, and there's a lot of people that have sightings and say that they're still there.
Yeah, there's a lot of sightings for this stuff.
I would go into Australia. I would go into, you know, Indonesia. I would go into Tasmania. I don't know if that's technically part of Indonesia or what. Or if that's part of like Australia or what. Even though it's an island, but you know what I mean. And I would go and set up so many cameras, so many motion cameras. I'd have like
people do that.
Motion cameras, and I would just put them on literally every single tree. And I'd be like, we're gonna find out if this thing is there or not.
Yeah, you remember Monster Quest? They would just go to places and actually look for the monsters. It's just they would look for the most. I feel like the problem, like they would never find shit. Sometimes they would, but they would just look for some crazy monsters. Like, I mean, they were looking for Mothman, and I don't know. I felt like there's no way, if Mothman was real, there's no way you would find him anyway, because he's not gonna. I feel like he's smart enough to not fly by, like, see you guys set up traps and stuff.
That's
like,
the whole thing. If you've seen, like, if you've watched the Mothman prophecies or are interested in Mothman, that's like a whole big conspiracy. Like, that's farther than.
I think he's an intelligent creature. Like, he's not like a fucking cow. Like, he can think. So, not that cows can't think, but like, you know what I mean.
Yeah. I think that's some, but there's a lot of, I feel like cryptozoology and, you know, cryptids in general and creepypastas and all that kind of mesh well and are kind of go hand in hand. And I feel like all that stuff, like, it's like we've talked about before, you know, ghosts, you know, spirits, interdimensional beings, cryptids, creepypastas, all that stuff, like, it all shares the same world and it all kind of intersects each other. UFOs, you know, aliens, and people want to like act like you know, one is more credible than the next, but like all of them kind of share a space, and all of them kind of dip into each other, and you know, a lot of them probably are related.
Yeah, I
related,
think so.
You know, and
I think a lot of them are each other. Like, some of them might just be aliens, some of them, you know, vice versa.
I think there's, like, just think of how many different species are on Earth. There could be an infinite amount of different things that our minds can't even comprehend. You know?
Yeah, I mean, this is a huge planet, like,
and stuff like that that are still, living on this planet or lived here longer than we have, or even come from somewhere else that, like, we probably if we run across them, be like, what? And some people run across them and give their accounts of it, and it's just so weird and out of the ordinary that we can't like comprehend. So when we try and make a creepypasta, or we tell our story, it becomes a creepypasta because people are like, there's no way this can exist.
Yeah.
But really, it's just we can't really comprehend what it is.
Yeah, a lot of the time. We can't really
wrap our minds around it.
I tend to really lean toward, like, if someone's telling me a story about a cryptid, like, you know, I really do lean towards believing them over someone who tells me about a spirit or something. And reason being is because with spirits and ghostly stuff, it tends to be a lot of people filling in bullshit and covering up all the real shit, like with just fake shit over and over again. So I tend to stay out of that because I get tired of looking at just fake shit, like, just everywhere. Like, there's more of that than the real stuff, than the people who actually have experiences. Like, and that's annoying. And cryptids aren't really like that. So
yeah, I feel like Reddit is held out for stuff like that. I think that people making, like, you know, just writing stories, you know, because at the end of the day, a lot of these subjects we're not entirely sure unless you have a first-hand experience with something of it. You don't really know whether it's true or not, so you might as well just read it just because it's a good story, you know. And it's a good thing. Like, if it's not a good story, then why are you gonna read it in the first place? Even if it's real or if it's not, like.
And it's like, if it's realistic enough, then it's like that very well could be real. Like, some of them flat out do say they are real, and I mean, I guess you could say they could be just looking for attention, but
yeah, you could say that they're lying, because there's a bunch of movies that be like based on a true story, but it's like, yeah, it's kind of based on a true story, like, because one thing in the movie,
yeah, they do that a lot.
Someone a long time ago, and it's not exactly what happened, but it's like kind of happened. It happened in the same state, but it was like nothing related to it at all. It's like, but it's based on a true story. It's like, okay,
yeah,
that's cool.
Slightly based on a true story.
Yeah, like, very slightly.
Like, I saw one that was like, did you see that story where the guy, someone kept on ringing his doorbell really late at night, and he set up a camera, and he just found some guy's face just in his fucking camera, like, let me in. It's really creepy. And it was completely real, like, he had the image of it, of his camera, so.
Yeah, no, I never heard of that. That's hella.
It was really creepy. Like, he had the picture and everything. It was so creepy, and I think he moved. That makes it even more creepy when they have pictures.
Yeah, he's lucky that guy didn't break in his house or something.
He is, yeah. Like, I think he was making some really stupid, rational, like, thoughts. Like, he was like, oh, well, I think it's just some prankster kids. Like, kids don't fuck with you night after night like that, dude. Like, come on.
Well, they could.
They could, but I really doubt it.
I mean,
yeah, like, I seriously
it must be a
doubt
boring
it.
place where they don't have nothing to do. Yeah.
Yeah, if they're messing with you every day, like, kids don't usually do that. Kids usually get tired of messing with one person if they don't see a reaction. And it turns out it's some so crazy ass guy just at his door. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I wonder if they ever caught that guy.
I don't know. I don't think they did. It's fucking creepy.
Yeah. The idea that's... I mean, I don't have a doorbell, so, you know, you knock on my door and I look at you out there, and it's like late at night, I'm gonna just, like, look through the thing, and if you're like staring through the window or something, I'm gonna be like, I'll give you 10 seconds to, like, leave.
Yeah.
I want to give you 10 seconds. Like, leave right now. You know. And they're like, will you let me in? I'm like, why would I let you in my house? They're like, you can do whatever you want out there. People could be chasing you. I really don't care. I'm not letting you in my house. Yeah, 0% chance.
Yeah, like why would I let you in? I see. That's why. That's why I would have a weapon, not to shoot people, but to threaten people. Like I don't even care if it doesn't have anything in it. Like
you have to be very careful. You're risking your whole family and putting your whole family in jeopardy.
Yeah.
If you let some random person into your house, like no.
Especially at night.
You don't let the pizza person even in your house. You know, it's like
yeah.
And especially like even if you're working somewhere, like you know, and you're delivering stuff, you're not gonna want to go in people's houses because
yeah, why would you?
You know, you walk in their house and then they have, you know, just like they're just weirdos. You know,
drug addicts.
Yeah, they have dead animals all on the wall. Their entire wall is just taxidermy, and you're like, maybe I shouldn't have walked into this guy's house. You know?
Yeah, like. I mean, I feel like the pizza guy, if the pizza guy wants to come into your house, that's a problem, because there's no reason he should want to come into your fucking house. Why would he?
It's like, if he really has to use the bathroom or something like that, I can understand.
Right,
like,
maybe.
If you have a bathroom I could use, like, I understand it, because, you know, if you're driving around and you've been, you know, you're just like, well, I really gotta go. And then like, obviously someone says no, you're like, oh, alright. Thanks for, you know, sorry for asking or something, you know, but if they do, then, you know, you just go and use their bathroom and then you don't snoop and then you just leave and go on to do your next delivery or whatever, you know.
Yeah, it's usually a dead giveaway if someone's there for trouble, though. Because there's not many reasons someone should want to come into a random person's house. So it's usually pretty obvious to tell.
Yeah. Unless they're up to something.
Oh, let me come in the fucking, like, I know healing, magical healing. Anyone in here sick? It's like, what are you? Get the fuck away from me! What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean it's like some circumstance. Like if you just moved into somewhere and like you're talking to your neighbor. And you know, you go and knock on your neighbor's door to introduce yourself, so I'm like, yeah, I'll give you a tour of the house. And it's like, yeah, that's understandable because like you just moved in, so maybe your neighbor wants to be nice and show you their house, something like that. But like some random person never lived on your street or nothing, and there's like some random person like, yeah, can I come in? It's like, why would I let you in my house?
Yeah.
What do you want? And it's like, oh, I just wanna come in. It's like, yeah, I'm sorry, you need to leave right now.
Like, I don't know what world you thought that would be successful, but like, no. That's all for today, guys. We'll see you guys probably pretty soon, since we're probably gonna record more than one episode, so we will see you guys next time.